content is for educational purposes only, drawing from our professional and educational experiences and opinions. Please use this information at your own personal or professional discretion. We are not liable for anything you do with this information.
Good evening. Welcome to Ask the Lady Electrical Inspector podcast. I am your host, Tabatha L. Tonight, we have a special guest joining us for an insightful discussion. Stay tuned as they introduce themselves shortly. Our conversation will revolve around critical updates on aluminum wiring modifications, shedding light on its significance to key entities like the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, insurance companies, HOAs, authority having jurisdictions, homeowners, and business owners. We will dive into the specific requirements mandated by these stockholders and explore the associated policies and procedures. Join us for an informative and engaging dialogue aimed at simplifying these complex topics for better understanding. Now, let's give a warm welcome to our guest in the studio. Henry, it's your time.
Thank you for your invitation, Tabitha. It's a privilege to be part of your show. I'll keep it brief. Family business in the 70s, a couple enlistments in the U.S. Army, and back to the family business. I currently teach electrical code as well as inspect for a municipality.
Looking forward to a great discussion ahead. In this episode, we're going to talk about something very important: aluminum wiring modification. This is a topic that affects millions of homeowners and business owners, and we want to share some key points. Many homes today use copper wiring for electrical systems like receptacle outlets, lighting outlets, light switches, and appliances. However, some older homes, especially those built in the 1960s and 70s, may have aluminum wiring. While aluminum was once popular, it can lead to increased fire risk if not handled properly. As these wires age, they might need repairs. We will begin by discussing the role of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, as well as the role of the insurance company recommendations. These organizations work together to keep our homes and businesses safe. Next, we will look at the rules and procedures set by local authorities, known as the authority having jurisdiction. These are the people who make sure electrical work is done correctly and safely. We will also discuss why it's important to follow the National Electrical Code requirements and manufacturer's instructions, especially when it comes to repairing aluminum wiring. This is essential for making sure all electrical installations are safe. Now, we will emphasize the importance of spotting problems with aluminum wiring and share tips to help make your inspections easier. We will give real-life examples to show how these safety codes apply to everyday situations and highlight signs that you should watch out for during electrical checks. Additionally, we will explain what can go wrong if inspections for aluminum wiring are not done properly. This is critical information. Understanding the risks can help prevent dangerous situations. Join us as we dive deeper into how modifications to aluminum wiring, called for by various organizations and local authorities, are so important. We will show how adhering to safety codes and local regulations is key to protecting everyone involved, from homeowners to business owners. Regular electrical inspections are vital for meeting safety standards and can help prevent issues like electrical shock and fire dangers. Let's begin with discussing the role of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, the role of insurance companies and their safety standards, how these organizations work together to keep our homes and businesses safe. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, staff, and other government officials have investigated numerous hazardous incidents and fires throughout the nation involving aluminum branch circuit wiring. Aluminum wiring has been a long-standing concern when it comes to home safety. The Commission has received many reports connecting home fires to the use of aluminum wires in electrical systems. A lot of these incidents have involved overheating at points where the aluminum wires connect to the electrical outlets and switches. The Commission is looking closely at the information gathered from consumers, industry experts, and government officials. They are also doing more tests at the National Bureau of Standards to understand the problem better. Any decisions the Commission makes in the future will depend on whether aluminum wiring is considered a danger or pose an unreasonable risk to homeowners. Since 1965, around 2 million homes and mobile homes have been built using aluminum wiring. However, there are safety concerns regarding this type of wiring, as it can increase the risk of fire and overheating. To help homeowners with aluminum wiring stay safe, the Commission recommends some safety tips to minimize these risks. Next, we will look at the rules and procedures set by the insurance companies, HOAs, and the authority having jurisdictions. These are the people who give directives that aluminum modification standards are done correctly and safely. The insurance industry is experiencing a significant shift, especially regarding the safety of electrical systems. Insurance companies are now placing a strong emphasis on the importance of upgrading electrical components in homes and businesses to minimize fire hazards and liability issues. As a result, homeowners and business owners are feeling increasingly pressured to improve their electrical systems to meet insurance expectations. These changes in insurance rules show a strong commitment to safety and aims to address fire risks linked to these old aluminum wiring electrical systems. It's important for property owners who still use these outdated systems to understand how it affects their insurance and, more importantly, their safety. Insurers are strongly encouraging replacement of older wiring, such as aluminum wiring and knob and tube wiring methods, as well as outdated electrical panels. While different insurance companies may approach these guidelines in varying ways, the overall trend towards upgraded electrical setups is clear. Staying informed about these changing insurance requirements is essential for protecting your property and ensuring you have continuous insurance coverage. Henry, can you share your thoughts on the authority having jurisdiction and the number of inspections being requested?
Yes, I can. In August of 2023, I saw an increase in aluminum remediations in my inspection area. I brought it to the attention of the chief. I explained we were in upwards of 280 permits for remediations. I also discussed that they were being pushed by insurance companies to the HOAs and other management groups with a very tight timelines for completions. I was asked to do an investigation. Over the next 30 days, I would inspect and work with different contractors. In that brief time, it shot up to over 1,000 open permits. The chief took it up the chain of command, and it was determined that third-party inspections would be required for the volume. Fast forward to today, and well over 3,000 permits.
The authority having jurisdiction wants to make sure everyone in the electrical industry is aware of some new updates that will change how they handle aluminum wiring projects in various kinds of buildings, such as condos, apartments, and homes. These updates are especially important for anyone working with homeowners, condo associations, or insurance companies. Right now, the authority having jurisdiction is managing numerous projects across hundreds of homes, and that number keeps increasing. With so many inspections happening, our office is quite busy, which makes it hard to keep up with the demand. To assist homeowners who need to finish their electrical work and inspections quickly, especially to avoid issues with their insurance, we are introducing a third-party inspection procedures. The third-party inspection procedure. In case of an emergency, when the Public Works Electrical Inspection Team cannot do the inspection that is covered by an approved permit, what should happen? Instead of waiting for the code enforcement inspector, property owners will need to hire their own approved third-party inspector at their own cost. This inspector will carry out the inspection and provide approval to the inspection department. Requirements for a third-party inspector. An approved third-party inspector must meet these qualifications. They should be registered professional engineers in Missouri for inspections related to structural, mechanical, and electrical, plumbing, and drainage work. If the inspection involves architectural, the inspector must be a registered architect in Missouri. An architect can also inspect structural work on buildings covered by the International Residential Code, the IRC. The inspection report must include the address where the inspection took place, the permit number is associated with the inspection, the name of the contractor, the date and time of the inspection, the type of inspection that was conducted, specific areas of construction or project that were inspected, any problems or violations found, or a clear statement that anything complies with the established codes. While you will still need to obtain an electrical permit, inspections will now be approved based on the work and report from this third-party inspector. Now I will talk about safe repair options for aluminum wiring. If you need to address concerns with aluminum wiring in your home, here are three recommended methods to ensure safety. Replacing copper wire. The safest long-term solution is to replace aluminum wiring with copper wiring. This means having a qualified electrician remove the old aluminum wiring and install new copper ones. Although this is the best option, it can be expensive and challenging for some homes, depending on their layout and structure. In many cases, the existing aluminum wire can be left in place within the wall while the new copper wiring is installed. Using the cop loom repair method. If completed, replacement is not possible. Another option is to use the method called the cop loom repair. This involves connecting aluminum wires to a short section of a copper wire using special connectors known as cop loom connectors. This technique, often referred to as pigtailing, creates a safe and long-lasting repair. It's important to apply this method to every connection in your home that involves aluminum wiring, including outlets, switches, and appliances. This way, the system can safely use standard electrical devices. Alternative repair method. In cases where the cop loom repair isn't available or is too costly, there is another alternative called the Alumicon connectors. This method also involves pigtailing, but using a different type of connector instead of the cop loom. While initial tests show it is effective, it does not have a long history of proven safety like the cop loom method. It's crucial that a qualified electrician carry out this repair to ensure it is done correctly and safely. Choosing the right repair option for aluminum wiring in your home is essential for safety, and consulting with a professional can help you make the best decision. We will also discuss why it's important to follow the National Electrical Code requirements and manufacturer's instructions, especially when it comes to using aluminum wiring modifications. This is essential for making sure all electrical installations are safe. Making sure our electrical systems are safe is incredibly important. Following safety guidelines and manufacturers' recommendations, especially when it comes to aluminum wiring, helps keep everyone safe when working with electricity. Recently, there has been a noticeable change in how electrical inspections are handled. Insurance companies, homeowner associations, and business owners are paying more attention to older electrical systems in homes and buildings. Many insurance providers are now requiring homeowners to upgrade outdated wiring and electrical panels, especially those made with aluminum or older type knob and tube. The goal of these upgrades is to reduce the chance of a higher insurance cost, even losing coverage. Government agencies in charge of safety standards, often referred to as the authority having jurisdiction, are also getting involved in this process. Many electrical contractors are stepping up to help with these important upgrades. However, they face challenges due to an increase in inspections requests. The authority having jurisdiction is worried about ensuring quality inspection, particularly when it comes to the skill of outside inspectors. Adding to the difficulties, the authority having jurisdiction often limited time to conduct thorough inspections, which make the entire situation more complicated. When it comes to homes with aluminum wiring, especially after renovation or remodeling, it's important to have them inspected by the authority having jurisdiction. Inspectors pay close attention to any changes made to the original wiring because improper installation can lead to safety issues. In older homes, certain areas may need special outlets known as GFCIs. If required, this means the entire electrical panel might need to be replaced, no matter if the wiring is copper or aluminum. One major concern is that GFCI outlets that are not installed correctly can cause damages to the installation of the aluminum wires, which can be especially dangerous in busy areas like the kitchen and the bathrooms. This highlights the need for careful installation. Inspectors have found problems such as wire being bent too much or not spreaded or not spaced properly from metal boxes, both of which can create a safety risk. For repairs, the authority having jurisdiction suggests using switches and outlets marked Kolar. These are made for connecting directly to the aluminum wires, but they can also work with copper wires. While these Kolar devices can handle aluminum wiring well when installed correctly, they have not performed well in tests with older aluminum wiring. So, the Consumer Product Safety Commission considered them a temporary solution rather than a complete fix. In emergency, temporary solutions like alum cop twist-on connectors, pigtails, or Kolar devices can help with failed aluminum connections. However, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recommends that homeowners aim for a full repair of the aluminum wiring system as soon as possible after using temporary fix. It's crucial that all changes and added additions to the wiring meet safety codes and are inspected thoroughly to ensure everything is up to standard and safe for use. Now, we will emphasize the importance of spotting problems with aluminum wiring and share tips to help your inspections easier. We will give real-life examples to show how these safety codes apply to everyday situations and highlight signs that you should watch out for during electrical checks. Spotting problems with aluminum wiring. Aluminum wiring does not always show signs of damage, but there are some warning signs to watch out for. Receptacle outlets or light switches feel hot to the touch. Receptacle outlet covers or light switch covers discoloration, burn, or scorn marks. Circuits seem to malfunction. Switch does not work in either position, up or down. Plug does not fit into the receptacle outlet without forcing. Also, the breakers often trip. Lights flicker unexpectedly. You notice a burning plastic smell coming from the electrical outlets. If you notice any of these signs, it's important to contact a licensed electrical contractor. Trying to fix electrical issues on your own can be dangerous and may lead to shock or fires. Henry, can you share the recommendations the National Electrical Code approved methods?
Yes, I can. You touched on the copolymer sealed terminals and splices. I've seen them as well as investigated them while being a contractor. Although I would say they are the cat's meow in most situations, they become a bit expensive due to needing a special crimp tool that needs calibration often. The average 2,000 square foot home has over 100 openings requiring well over 200 splices. A standard home would need 2 or more crimp tools to go smoothly without stopping to send the tool back out for calibration per its listing use. The Kohler rated devices are approved for aluminum to metal contact. They were created to mitigate the heat issues, as you described, at the terminations of the dissimilar metals. Just remember, most modern electrical devices, including many switches and plugs, will specify a torque value for their wire connection screws, meaning a torque screwdriver is recommended for a proper installation to ensure a secure connection. On the twister ALCU wire connectors, they are used on aluminum and copper only terminations. They cannot be used on aluminum to aluminum or copper to copper. They also have combination rules for the fill placed in them of combined conductors when used. The Alumicon lugs come in different port sizes to help with wire management. They require a torque screwdriver for every termination. This is based on the wire sizes. As was pointed out by you, Tabatha, please make sure you are following the manufacturer's guidelines for the installation. This is a key to success. My last and very important experience is that the Series 3500 and 8000 aluminum wiring that we're discussing is not approved with any modern strippers of today. They must be hand stripped with a razor knife, preferably a soft metal hook blade, as not to hurt the metal or leave nicks that can cause failure. Back to you, Tabatha.
NEC approved methods for dealing with aluminum wiring, Alumicon connectors. An alternative solution gaining recognition is Alumicons, embraced by insurance companies, HOAs, and the electrical industry. Alumicons offer a safe method to connect aluminum and copper wires. These connectors effectively mitigate the fire risk associated with aluminum wiring without necessitating a complete rewiring of the property. These special connectors that meet safety standards, they allow aluminum wires to be safely connected to the copper wires, creating strong and reliable connections that reduce the dangers associated with aluminum wiring. Rewiring with copper. In some cases, it's best to replace aluminum wiring with copper altogether. This is especially recommended for homes with a lot of aluminum wiring or older electrical systems. This option not only enhances safety, but can also increase the value of your home. Pigtailing. This method involves attaching a short piece of copper wire called pigtails to the end of the aluminum wires. This helps prevent loose connections. Special paste and connectors are used to ensure that the aluminum and copper wires connect safely. Per manufacturer's instructions, do not use common hand crimps, as Henry stated. Connectors with aluminum wires, pigtailing, and twist-on connectors is not a recommended repair. By utilizing Alumicons, homeowners can enhance the safety of their home in a more cost-effective manner compared to a full electrical overhaul. This solution not only addresses the dangers linked to aluminum wiring, but also provide a practical and affordable option for homeowners to manage these risks effectively. Additionally, we will explain what can go wrong if inspections for aluminum wiring are not done properly. This is crucial information. Understanding the risk can help prevent dangerous situations. The authority having jurisdiction wants to share some important tips about working with aluminum wiring, especially for electrical contractors. During inspections, the authority having jurisdiction will check various elements of your work. They will look at things like aluminum connectors, GFCI outlets, regular receptacles, dimmer switches, and the aluminum wiring itself. They will also ensure that ceiling fans are installed correctly using the appropriate support boxes. This may involve lowering the ceiling fan for inspection and removing covers from outlets and switches for a closer look. The purpose of these guidelines is to ensure everyone understands what to inspect during inspection moving forward. It's worth noting that there is no legal requirement to update aluminum wiring. Property owners can leave their aluminum wiring as long as property owners can leave their aluminum wiring as is, unless insurance companies or homeowner associations notice an issue or decide to address a potential hazard. If any repairs are needed, it's important to use materials that are compatible with aluminum wiring and follow specific safety codes. Guidelines from the manufacturer and organizations such as the National Electrical Manufacturers Association, NEMA, provides clear instructions on how to handle these connections correctly. Henry.
The only thing that I would add to all of that is I'll give you an idea of a standard inspection. I will call, when we were making the inspections before the third party, I would call the contractor. I'd let them know that they had to have somebody on site. They would be allowed to do all the work, put all the devices into the walls, put the lights up, and actually go through that whole process. I mean, they are an electrical contractor after all. When I would show up, I would point to different receptacles. I would have them pull them out of the wall. I would make sure that the connections looked good. I would then ask them on a couple of them that shouldn't have been done yet to demonstrate to me how they would use the Lumicons, which is what I saw the most of. I generally did that in the kitchen because the wire sizes were larger, like they would use a number 10 aluminum to a number 12 copper pigtail. I would also look in both the kitchens and the bathrooms because that's generally where I would find a box, and the box would not have enough fill into it for the GFCIs that they would have to put in, as they would have to make sure everything was upgraded while they did these changes. Those are the general things I would look at. And a lot of times, the contractors would not have the torque screwdrivers. They would not be set up to do that. And it's another reason that it went to third party. And I think that's about all I could add to it.
Thank you, Henry. It's essential that electrical contractor keep a few points in mind during this process, as Henry mentioned. Here are a few key points to keep in mind. Follow the rules. Ensure all work is compliant with the latest electrical code standards, the National Electrical Code. Use approved material. It's important to use the right approved material for electrical work and install them according to the manufacturer's guideline. As Henry mentioned, size does matter. Make sure that the device boxes are properly sized and meet the required standards. The purpose of these instructions is to confirm that we are all on the same page regarding these inspections as we move forward. It's important to note that there is no official requirement for fixing aluminum wiring. Insurance companies are particularly concerned about issues like loose or overheated connections. Many now require complete rewirings for homes with aluminum wiring, or they might charge significantly higher premiums. Addressing these problems quickly is crucial for meeting insurance requirements and protecting properties from potential dangers. Tonight, we talked about important tips for staying safe when dealing with electrical systems, especially during inspections. We highlighted that aluminum wiring can be more dangerous than copper wiring. Problems such as loose connections, bad wiring, and rusty parts can increase the risk of fire. So it's crucial to take care of these older wiring systems as soon as possible. Being curious and aware is key to keeping yourself safe. Always remember to get the help from a licensed electrical contractor for any repairs. Stay updated, stay safe, and help spread the word about these safety practices. A big thank you to our guest, Henry Anderson, for sharing his valuable knowledge and insight. Would you like to say any final words, Henry?
Thank you very much for allowing me to come onto the show, and I very much appreciate your confidence in me.
Thank you, Henry. Join me next Wednesday for a conversation about the problems that can arise from spraying electrical equipment. We will also discuss why this practice is against safety rules and go over essential guidelines to avoid future issues. Let's work together to tackle any potential electrical safety concerns. Visit my YouTube channel where I post short videos showcasing common mistakes in electrical inspections. You can learn about the best practices to follow and what to avoid when dealing with electrical systems. If you are interested in understanding more about electrical standards, check out the list of 60 Best Electricians podcasts, podcast.feedspot.com/electricians podcast. Feel free to reach out on social media with any questions, comments, or topic ideas. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under the name Ask the Lady Electrical Inspector. You can also email me at asktheladyelectricalinspector@gmail.com for more discussions or to share your thoughts. Let's work together to keep our electrical systems safe and up to code. Thank you for your time and have a great night.